Right, the old girl's back in the light of day for half a day today, so it's moving the wagon out day today. So halfway through, so I've just done a couple of jobs this morning and had a bit of a break and then into the afternoon. So I got the seats out. So I got the front seats out there. So that's been done. So you can see they're pretty rotted underneath. So luckily I've got spare rails all ready for these. These are going to my other car. They're a lot more better, lot better support. My other one's all kicking hard to the left. So pretty common old Falcon thing when you have the bucket seats. They kick pretty hard to the left if you put a bit of weight on them. It's how you get out of the car. So anyway, moving on quickly, the lights are all done, they're all together, sitting there ready to rock and roll. So they've been put away nice and safely. So anyway, so there's the old, I've got space. So I'll be cleaning all that up in shortly. So obviously I threw the diff back in temporarily, the spare diff. So anyway, I'm going to move on quickly to the rear window removal process. Well, front's very easy. God, hear that noise. Front's easy. So you'll see there's two little spots. Let's actually wind this down so you can see. Bear with me. Oh Christ! Phone, shit. Moving on. God, I don't know if that's the right way around or not. Whatever, we'll work it out. So you'll see there and there. So there's two of these little plastic bits. You'll see them in there. They look like that, and inside them they've got a little pin. So when you look at them, they basically look like that. So all you do is get a medium-sized Phillips head or a large one. I'll just use that one. Get a hammer and just hammer it through, and it pops out. So it's going to fall down in there somewhere, and the other one will come out with the head of the Phillips head screwdriver. So as long as you use the right size. And then the window, you just obviously you got to take the door trim off, of course. The window will just pull out upwards and out. Quite straightforward, quite easy. Back window, a little bit more involved. The main window itself, same deal. Oh, far out, I've got a bloody winder. Oh, crack. Hear that. Here's the winder. There we go, so back window, same deal. There's your little punch through bit, and then you wind it down to the right spot somewhere, wherever it is. Hang on, it's got caught on this bloody thing. It's got caught on stuff because the windows are apart, so just bear with me. Don't know where it's gone. Hurry up. Was there? Maybe when I pulled it apart, it's something's come off it. But that's okay. I think that's what's happened. When the rail has been pulled off. So I'll go to the other side. So the other side, moving on. That rail's fallen off as well. That's a note. When that's obviously something I didn't realise until after I dropped the window off. That the rail falls off. Okay, anyway, so same deal. There's a little hole. You just punch it through with a screwdriver. So to get the back quarter window out, this thing normally sits up in there like so. There's two screws on the top that undoes that, and then there's a screw on the back under here that undoes the other side of it. So you can see it, there it is there. So there's a little screw, or a bolt I should say. So that comes out. So then you got to remove the external trim. So that's got to pop out. So there's a screw in here for that. And then the rest of it, you very gently just lever the trim out and it'll pop out the other end. Now you don't need to, but I did remove this little insert panel here. There's just one screw there. but I found out I don't think you needed to do that, but I did it just to get it out of the way. So once that's done, what I had to do, because this would obviously never been out before, it was all stuck in here, like the actual rubber was swollen and jammed. To get a better angle, sorry. It was jammed into the quarter bit, so I had to get a screwdriver. It was pretty straightforward. Just got a flat tip, but I'm going to use this for example. Just get a flat tip, and I just went from the outside and just gently manoeuvred the rubber seal, and then went from the other side and this side again, and then eventually the rubber seal just sort of came loose and it started moving inside this bit. It was still pretty tight in there, so once I got that removed, then I could just get on hands on each side of the door, grabbing the window and going, and eventually she popped out. So yeah, I had to move this stuff as well, just pop that little bit of Bailey channel out. I think Bailey channel, I think that's what they call it. Yeah, so that's the basics of it. Not difficult, but it took me probably 10 minutes to think through how to actually go about it, because I didn't YouTube it or anything like that on how to actually do it. So it was pretty straightforward, honestly, so once you worked it out. So yeah, so that's my spare door there. That's going to go on the front. So this old wagon's about to go to the retirement village at the Wreckers, so I'm doing that Monday. So I'm just grabbing the little bits and pieces that I need from it to make sure all as spares, as well as for the other car. So yeah, so I've got a boot full of stuff. I'll be emptying all that obviously before I go out to the tip as well. So anyway, that's the gist of removing windows on the old XE, XD, probably potential XF, others, blah blah blah. Yeah, just remember it does get stuck in there, so just be mindful it won't move. Mine didn't move, and I thought I had some other screw or something, but it did pop out. You can leave all this bit in. I didn't need to move that. That was just covers the external trim, covers that. The trim you just leave her off with this. There's little clips here. You can see rust has just wrecked them, so that's okay. This is a rusty car. So the external trim just pops out, and then you've got the Bailey channel that'll just move out of the way. Internal trim obviously off, but there's a little screw bolt underneath here, tiny little nut. You don't need to move that. They're often rusty and useless anyway. So that's where we're at. So I think it's time to say goodbye to this old girl. So I'll be loading her up onto a trailer Monday, and yeah, she is empty. There's not much left on her. That yeah, so I've got a whole bunch of stuff. You can see the rust. Oh my god, it's just awesome. So yeah, so that'll be the end of this old girl. She'll be off to the scrap heap and off to wherever these cars go when they're on scrap heaps. So yeah, there's nothing else useful on this car. I've had a bit of a look, and even in the interior light's all wrecked. So there's nothing left on it that's actually useful. I will take the mud flaps off, but mind you, because they're original Ford ones, so I'll keep them. Look what I found! I found the other missing door thing. Oh, it's funny. Righto. Anyway, so this is the end of the era for this old girl. She's had her nearly 40 years of life. It's been repurposed. So yeah, it's a bit sad to see the old girl go. I'm in Darwin, and there are good panels, you know, a couple of bits of panels, but no one wants this stuff up here. It's just cost too much to send it down south. So you just go with the flow. Anyway, so this is the end of the era for the old girl. So rest in peace, Jimmy, old Jim, who used to own this. So he owned it for an eternity. This is a original Darwin car, but rust. She's not recoverable. You can see everything. Look at that. So you can see she's bad. Righto. Goodbye, Goldie. See you next time.